Anyhow, you guys are all muted right now. Probably. Oh, hey. Welcome, M51. I'll just check and see if you can hear me. M51. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right on. Okay. Well, let's get right into it. So, welcome to the monthly meeting. This isn't related to Hack Night or anything like that. This is just once a month we're going to get together and talk about the agenda. And this is, actually we're more in a beta mode right now, testing our format with the agenda. So actually I just got to call that up. I had it right in front of me. But the first part of it basically is the controversial topic discussion. I have three key things I'd like for you guys to maybe talk about. You know, given that the group is small, I may enable everyone's mic. Otherwise, feel free to chat in the window to discuss the issues at hand. And also feel free, I mean, this is a really informal meeting. This is not, you know, say what you want or what comes to your mind. We can change it up. And otherwise, also, if you get sick of one particular topic, you want to move on, you want to talk about something else, just type in chat. Yeah, no worries. Okay, and then later on we have so the hacking topics, hacking backs and techniques used to attack the attacker, and then good old Unix command line utility chattr, particularly with the +I option for some interesting things, and then the lock picking corner, which we're going to try out. We may have a glitch there, or again, just keep in mind this is a work in progress. We're testing all the controls and looking at what works and what doesn't. So your patience and feedback would be much appreciated. So without further ado, the first topic, it actually coincides a little bit with the Group 51 updates and why I haven't been too active in the last week. Well, aside from me being on vacation, I was in Panama, but it was brought to my attention by one of our members that popular site called Internet. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, or pun intended, or not intended. But basically, it's another hacking type site that, well, it's not really like a group like we are. It's kind of different, but the theme, in generally speaking, is ethical hacking, and that's what they promoted. But this particular website went a little farther and had many scripts and whatnot online. And you guys probably read the yellow text already. So that was my reply back. I got nervous because basically, long and short of it was that the owner of Internet had the site taken down, and it was hosted by 1&1 Internet, which is a popular company that hosts thousands and thousands of websites. And what they did, I wanted to, you know, copy and paste the conversation that, yeah, after 5 years, go figure, that the website was taken down, the account frozen, or not, sorry, not frozen, just totally terminated. So the owner, like similar to me, owner of the website, called up 1&1, say, hey, what's happening to my website? Where did it go? And the long and short of it is that we're sorry, sir. Your account's been terminated. You violated you had a hacking website, and you know the typical thing. And this is the problem with ethical hacking. You know, you have people that are not either technically inclined or think they're technical and they're not because they watch a Matrix or something stupid like that, and they have the power, unfortunately, to delete accounts and whatnot. So it's a lot of ethicalhacker.net. There's a forum there, and I posted my response in there. And I can't believe it. Like I couldn't believe that a company, you know, this big and would just do this. Interestingly enough, though, I found out tonight that, like Group51.org and particularly Internet, ethicalhacker.net or ethical hacking, I think. No, what is it? Oh God, I haven't had enough coffee yet. Ethicalhacker.net is one of the most popular ethical hacking website forums on the internet by far, and they're hosted by 1&1, and actually Joomla running in their back end as a side note. And they, yeah, I don't, discrimination maybe, I don't know, like maybe somebody had it out. You know, sometimes it's a tough community where we try to be neutral in Group 51 and not piss anybody off, because, you know, I mean, it's easy to hack our website, and I'd just rather not deal with that. But, you know, so I'm saying that it's a preview of the future. So Braindead made a comment, well, after 5 years they've done this. There's a lot going on, right? Like, if you look at all the laws that are being passed today, that in a year from now, there's some serious stuff coming down the road. Like, for example, you know, it's similar but related, that our Prime Minister in Canada is signing a bill alongside with the U.S. President to allow for the release, like without a search warrant, all internet logs for anybody. They can search everything, everywhere you go, what you do, you know, without any warrant, and they can just obtain all this. And, you know, most people, like the common thing, is say, well, I have nothing to hide. You know, what's the deal? Yeah, but still, like, I mean, we're turning into, you know, those countries that don't have the freedoms that, you know, we're used to having, and you know, in the end, maybe the bad guys are winning, you know, and I use the term bad guys loosely, but, you know, what the heck is going on with our society? This is some pretty crappy times when it comes to the internet, and, you know, I'm not going to go on too much longer with this, or actually I think I'm pretty much done on this particular topic, but what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, I've taken the action of moving Group51.org. We're actually right in the middle of it, and you guys probably seen a shout that I posted a while back, stated that, you know, don't really add any new forum posts because I've already mirrored the sites to another hosting provider, Network Solutions, and the domain name is going to be transferred and yada yada, but I think I'm going to do another copy so that it's not going to be lost, because we had some new members and stuff. But all that to say is, because of this issue, this is why I'm moving Group51.org after like 5 years over to a new provider. Because when I called up Network Solutions, they said, oh, you know, we host thousands of porn sites and a lot of worse content, and, you know, so I wouldn't worry about that. You know, we understand what ethical hacking is, and what's interesting is I was able to speak to somebody that seemingly wasn't reading from a script, and you know, had a little bit of intelligence on their head, but the answers that I got were a little more in depth than what 1&1 provided. The Senate votes to let military detain Americans indefinitely. Wow. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So anyhow, that was just kind of a little bit of an update on our website, Group 51, and why we're moving over, and the kind of the pain points and the point of my stress for the last week. It's a major headache. There's some other technical constraints that come out that coincide with that, but I'm fairly busy, which is why I haven't been overly active in the shout box. So I apologize for that. Wow. Well, we're in for some interesting times, for sure. So, with nobody else commenting on that, I'm just going to move on to the next topic. So today, you know, I'm trying to keep things fresh, and it's something that I saw today. And so I'm calling this topic Facebook apps. And the social engineering, like back in the day, well, you get spam and attachments and executables, you click on them, and, you know, they try and trick you into doing that. They're still doing that today. So, but it's interesting to see how the times are changing. You know, with the Facebook apps, you put your information, or most people, they put a lot of personal information in Facebook and go through the trouble of you know, locking down their account or whatever. And then, so I came across this. One of my friends on my Facebook posted this, where apparently the Facebook founder wasn't hacked, but I guess like his private secrets, you know, the title is manipulated so that people see something spicy. You know, saying that his private blog was revealed, and people, I guess, want to see what he's doing on his private blog. But what's interesting is that the originating post is coming from Yahoo, and in order for you, like, I clicked on it because, you know, I just wanted, like, I'm curious, ethical hacking, you know, like what, how did this happen? So when I clicked on it, I got this app shares articles you read and more on Facebook with friends, yada yada. And then, so using this app requires your email address, your birthday, and your likes. You know, like, holy crap, man. Now, mind you, I don't have my real birthday on there. You know, or my likes. That's kind of private. If everything that I like, it can build a profile. You know, it's crazy how intrusive some of the things on Facebook are these days. And, you know, there's a whole world of, you know, hacking and ethical hacking possibilities. Yeah, it's crazy. Even on my iPad. You know, in some ways, if, you know, as I was just, you know, putting the slide together, it took me like 9 hours to put the slide together. I was thinking if there was some way that we could kind of, I don't know, not hack Facebook, because like that's against the law, but it'd be interesting to see if we can sandbox it, you know, like a segment of it somehow, and I don't know, have a look at it in terms of some exploits, or, you know, how secure is it really, you know, aside from these apps and whatnot. You know, I don't know. I guess all I have to say is I think there's some possibility here for some fun to be had, like Hacker Night or Hack Night. We can play around with it. Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah, it's you know, and even like on the iPad too now, what's interesting is you'll get 99-cent apps. You know, it's like, oh, cool. Or you'll get the light version of apps, and they want your location, you know, and they display ads, and they extract all this data, you know, from a central repository, and like iTunes and you know, the whole iStore in general, the App Store, is building such a wealth of information. You know, it's just crazy. Anything else you guys want to comment? Anything you guys notice on Facebook that's crazy other than all those friggin' stupid game requests? I don't know if you guys get those or not, but oh man, I think I'm gonna drop my Facebook account. Yeah, and you know, somebody said something earlier too, which was spot on, is all the policy changes. You know, they're worse than iTunes, where you know, you have to, nobody, you know, really reads a 20-page document on policy changes. You know, or, most people don't, and you know, they're happening all the time. Like every 2 months, the whole interface changes. You know, how secure is that? Well, actually, BD for you, it'd be social networking, not social engineering. You know, I mean, it is good to keep in touch with a lot of people in the industry, and you know, if you're looking for a job and stuff. Absolutely. There's always, yeah. I think there's a rule, actually, when I was studying for my CISP exam, the general principle for exploits and whatnot that are found in code is that for every 1,000 lines of code, there's a vulnerability, or there's an exploit to be had. I mean, that's just the stat that they said, and I wouldn't be surprised. And considering most applications, they have millions of lines of code, and it's a lot of stuff. Have you guys had any security issues with Facebook in your time being a member? A lot of my non-technical friends had their Facebook account hacked and the password compromised, and I suspect that's from clicking on links. I never click on that stuff, but oh yeah, that actually rings a bell. I think my little sister clicked on something like that. Oh really? Wow. All right, well, that's all I want to say about the Facebook app thing. I saw that today at work and during my lunch hour, of course, and thought that was interesting, Well, maybe not. That could be the excuse they use. Who knows? I used to do in-home computer repair back in my day for a lot of seniors, and let me tell you, I know that they just didn't click on some porn links in emails, and they were above 60 and 70 years old. That's true. Like, that is bad, and just how bad is that? Now imagine if you had, you're doing social networking with Facebook, and you have all your, maybe clients on Facebook, your employers, employees, that sort of thing. That could be devastating. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. It's craziness. All right. Well, we got 31 minutes left. I got to move on to the last news item here. I think it is. Is it? I got two more. I got to move through this quick because Braindead has some discussion. Actually, if you want, save those links for the round. Well, actually, no, that's related link. Once I get better at managing this interface, where my presentation is right now, we can all browse and have a look. If need be, we can share URLs and YouTube information and stuff like that. Watch it together in real time. So invisible ink tagging. This was kind of interesting. The Montreal police, Montreal, by the way, is probably about 2 hours away from me, not quite, marked protesters with invisible ink to be able to identify them later. And then I just copied in or pasted a comment from the blog where this was pulled. So, and this guy was spot on, like it's not ethical, and is it even legal? Like I don't know if everybody was charged or whatnot, but I just thought it was very interesting. Not so much that, is this ethical or legal or whatnot, but it's interesting to see the new tactics that are coming up, and it's about damn time that the police department and law enforcement agencies are becoming a little more creative to try and keep the peace, which it's a little bit cool, I think. Invisible ink tagging, and people are always going to bitch and complain that if the police or law enforcement ever gets the one up, but at the same time the comment that I pasted is also legit as well. But I don't know, I just thought this particular article was interesting. Google or YouTube Montreal riots, especially if Montreal basically makes it to the Stanley Cup playoffs and they lose, then you'll see. It's kind of funny, but it isn't. I'm telling you, they flip over cars, and I mean, it is insane. So how do you keep track of everybody smashing in windows? And you know what? It's not even. I shouldn't say that. It's not related to the fans. It's a few people that start it that have with the intention of doing that. But anyway, but it happens, and how do you track all these people? Well, and that's just it. Like Qubit, it's a nice strategy. So can you imagine? So if this made mainstream news, there's maybe instead of 400 protests or 400 rioters in the next event, it may go down to 100 because of this invisible ink tagging. It's like, ooh, what the hell is this? Well, you know what? Nah, I don't want to get involved in that. It might even be like a social engineering type of tactic as well. Because again, I don't know how successful it would be, and if it would hold up in court. I mean, it's like, yeah, well, I happen to be walking down the street and I got invisible ink, and well, you know what? I got a rash. If it was in the U.S., they would sue. Oh yeah. Oh, it's the same effect as Agent Orange. Oh, I can't go to work for life now. I don't know the details to this. You guys can Google it. Just Montreal invisible ink police. Yeah. Anyhow, okay. Next topic. Last one. This one, I mean, is it really any surprise? Yeah, for sure. I know a little bit about the nanotechnology, and I was reading some information about that. It's interesting. So, warning. So there's, again, one of the threads that I follow, Assange, iPhone, BlackBerry, Gmail users, you're all screwed. Surveillance. Well, I'll let you guys read the rest, but, I mean, are we really surprised? Who controls the news? Who controls, really the phone companies? And then you have the government that would go through the phone system to activate this stuff and do certain things, and then, but more on the scary side is you have hackers that can do just the same things, and actually, if memory serves me correct, there was a couple of articles a while back where they, oh God, there was not an app, but I don't know, something you can get off of YouTube, a special antenna or whatnot, and you can do all this, like a Bluetooth antenna, and it was like a kit that you can buy, and it's, I'm not familiar with the term carrier IQ, and I have to confess I didn't read in depth, or I didn't follow the whole thread on this, but just a general idea. And you know, like, I tend to believe stuff from this particular guy because, you know, we're really, I don't, like, I'm not the kind of person that I believe in all conspiracy theories and this, that, and the other thing, but, you know, there's some pretty funky stuff that's coming through that people aren't aware of, and that's just happening. And it's getting tucked under the carpet. You know, like, I believe in that the news, like the media, is not biased but owned, you know, by various people. You know, it's all money driven, and when people like this come out, it's something that we shouldn't just dismiss. You know, that we should follow up on an investigation, but yeah. I don't even think it's really like a rootkit. Well, no, I say that, and again, it's pure speculation, where you don't even, like, a rootkit to me implies that, you know, there's like a backdoor into something, that, you know, a backdoor application. But I think it's just like a straight up feature of a lot of the software, and that in the name of war on terror, that, you know, it just turn on your friggin' phone, your camera on your phone, you know, or turn on listening to the audio. And, you know, your cell phone's always listening, or your mobile device is always listening for incoming text messages, voice messages, that sort of thing. It is a rootkit. Oh, okay. Shit. That's crazy. Anyhow, that's all I have for our topic discussion, and I'm going to, Braindead, I'm going to unmute your audio right now and make you a presenter so you can upload your slide deck. So this is probably the real reason why you guys signed up, for all the cool stuff that Braindead's going to tell you.
Can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me? Alright, cool. Let's see. Can you guys see the my whatever, the PowerPoint stuff? Basically, you know, why would you want to do this? Well, you know, if you're doing security properly, you're doing it with layers. And so there's certain things that you can do, like, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the tool Web Labyrinth. Yep, yeah, it's the same concept as Tor. But this tool Web Labyrinth, I'm trying to remember who. I know the crew at Paul.com, they made either Web Labyrinth or they made Spider Labyrinth, I think. There's like two different ones. But basically, it's a trap, basically, for bots. And so having something like that on your web server, technically you might say that's hacking back because of what potentially could come of that. So like if you have a web server running this Web Labyrinth, basically all it is it's a page on your web server, and when you go to it, it presents you with 4 links, and then when you go to one of the links, it gives you 4 more links, and then you go to another link and it gives you 4 more, and it just keeps going and going. So like if you were to do like a like a wget on the site, it would just kill the wget. It would just get jammed up. So whether or not that's really hacking back or what, it's all iffy. No, not really. It's more just going to, I mean, it's just like a regular, like normal traffic. It's not, it's the same traffic as you get from like a Google bot or anything. It's not like a DDoS or DOS or whatever. But it will harm the bot itself. Sometimes it will completely destroy the thing. But yeah, and so it's just another layer that you can have to your security. I guess next is it's your right, or is it really? And that I guess would go more with the legality. Yeah. I mean, I definitely would be up for using it. And I was planning on using something like Web Labyrinth and whatever the next challenge was, just to see who I can catch with it. But I guess now you know, so be on the lookout. But so yeah, so it's, I mean, as far as my personal opinion, if I get attacked, I mean, I believe that I should be able to go back at you. But it's all, I mean, as you guys know, it's all very iffy. Just because you see an IP coming from China doesn't mean that some Chinese guy is actually in China attacking you. It could be anybody. So it's hard to do, and it's all just very iffy. Yeah, Tor, exactly. You could you'd just be anywhere. But and then yeah, defense does not win wars. Basically, if you can put up as many walls as you want, I mean, it's the same thing as all the ethical hacking and offensive security. And yeah, so you can sit here and try to protect yourself by just putting up walls and blacklisting and all that stuff, but you can't eliminate your enemy unless you actually go after them. All right, and then yeah, some methods. Keeping infected documents on your server or whatever. So you could basically have maybe an infected PDF that when you open it, if you're using the right software like Adobe, because we all know Adobe is so secure, but yeah, so you could basically have it like a callback, and you could be sitting there one day and a shell might pop up for you if you have the listener set up, and it could have been someone snagged and opened it on their machine, and now you get a shell right to them, and you get a little fun. And basically, you take a look at the tools that are used, to break into machines and write exploits. If you can find vulnerabilities in the tools, you can plant them on your site or whatever you have, and then you're getting hit with whatever, and you pop them just because they're using a vulnerable tool. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of the tools and stuff like that most like script kiddies are gonna find, they're gonna find it on like pirated or whereas sites and all of that. And so you might even grab a tool that's already backdoored. You don't know. And then the DOS, or denial of service stuff, is, I guess, it's a little more weird, and I guess more geared toward like nation states. If you're getting hit, if some of your major assets are getting hit with the denial of service, can what if you hit them back, try to bump them out? I don't know. I mean, but it's basically for anything, and there's tons of different methods. Not sure exactly what you mean with it. I mean, they could put a backdoor, or I mean, you can backdoor whatever and get in and look at whatever they're doing if you wanted to. I mean, because once you pop their box, you pop the box and you can do whatever. So you can have a lot of fun. Yeah, you can use Metasploit to generate those, these backdoors and stuff. Like for like a infected PDF, you can use. Actually, I don't know that Metasploit has the. I mean, you can use Metasploit to backdoor the thing, but actually, I don't know if any of you guys have used Set Social Engineer Toolkit, but that has stuff built in to make to backdoor PDFs and documents and all that stuff. It's really easy. Although I do recommend actually looking into how it's actually working and not just using the tool. But okay, and then I guess back to legality. Here in America, we got the Second Amendment. It allows you to protect yourself. In the physical world or kinetic world, whatever you want to call it. Where do you guys? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but do you guys think we should have a Second Amendment for the virtual world or whatever? I hate the word, but cyber world. I think we should. But yeah. So it's all very iffy. SOPA version 2, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you guys really are interested in the whole hacking back and all this stuff, I definitely recommend watching Paul.com and John Strand's talk. I know they gave one at DerbyCon. I know they give it at a lot of places and stuff like that, but I know they did give it at DerbyCon. So if you go to YouTube or whatever and search for that, it's right up there. It's a good talk. And on their podcast, they talk about it quite a bit. All right, yeah, I'll do that. And then, yeah, and then forget why I had nation states on there. It's probably on the wrong slide. But all right. So that was basically a quick overview of hacking back. I'm definitely up for like checking out Web Labyrinth. Maybe once we get a couple boxes set up in the darknet, hosting a Web Labyrinth and messing around with that kind of stuff, and Spider Labyrinth, I think is what it's called. I forget, but so yeah, I'll throw up a few links in the forum with what I found, and yeah, that'd be cool. All right, so these are that's possible, but that's why you learn the code and you read through the code. But all right, so this stuff, these tricks, these are things that I learned while I was at DerbyCon, and I learned them from Raphael Mudge. He's the guy that makes Armitage. I don't know if any of you guys have used that. And I think this is actually in his talk from DerbyCon also. He did a talk on red teaming and stuff. He talked about, what was it, CCDC and stuff. It's red team versus blue team and stuff like that. And I think his talk was just on like little tricks and stuff that he learned while participating in CCDC. So basically, here, let me see if this will work. So basically, chattr is basically like an extended set of permissions, basically. So let me see. Right. Can you all see this, hopefully? All right, cool. All right, so basically, for chattr, so like I said, it's an extended set of permissions, except it's like its own thing. So if you just, like, here, if I make Alright, so if I get the file hello.txt, and if we look at the permissions here, see, it's normal for, the file. And so, at this point, I can, me being the user and being root, I can do whatever I want to it. However, if I were to chattr plus I, the file. Now I've given it the I tag is the immutable tag. So I can't touch this. I can't touch the file at this point, even as root. And so what Raphael was talking about was that he would, on the red team, would break into whatever server and chattr, like add a new user to etc password and etc shadow, and then he would chattr those files. And then at that point, say you wanted to edit it or remove it, even though I'm root, I can't touch it. And so again, you look at the permissions, and you see that it's, you should be able to get rid of it or edit it or whatever, and you can't. Because the only way that you can see it is if you LSH, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, okay. That's the only way right there that you can actually tell that it's been, it has the flag on it. So it's good for, getting into the system and then just stopping people from kicking you out or whatever you want to use it for, and it'll drive people insane because they won't, or a lot of times they won't think of that attribute. So, yeah. I gotta read your comments. You'd have to either be root or the user that added the attribute or permission, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, and then the whole backdooring new users, I believe this was also in his talk, but so what he had mentioned was that you break into a box, you add, you make a backdoor. It could be just a callback or whatever. You could use interpreter or whatever reverse TCP payload. Upload it to the box you just compromised. And he used as an example just user bin UFW. You can add it wherever you want, and then add it to profile and scale profile. So whenever you create or whenever they create a new user, you're going to get a shell right back from them, so it's awesome. So you get a backdoor to every single user, and then yeah, you chattr plus I the thing, and they can't touch it until they figure that one out. So that's basically what I got. I tried to keep it really, really short because I didn't want to go on rants and stuff. But so if you guys are interested in the whole hacking back and all that stuff, I'm definitely up for doing that for the hack night or whatever. No problem. So if this is something you guys are interested in, maybe we can expand maybe onto the next meeting or whatever. But all right.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, so Taz, what do you... Yeah.
Okay, there's a really long delay, so Braindead, if you talk to me, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I was just going to comment on, for Hack Night, that the idea that I'm floating around right now, guys, is actually I just got an email tonight confirming I'm getting a couple of systems from donation from one of the members, from old-time member. And so there'll be a couple of systems that I'll throw up. I'm going to, like in the past, like you guys might not be aware of this, of what we had in our previous darknet, but basically central firewall. I think it was running Astero at the time, and then we had like VPN accounts and all that, and yada yada. I think our approach right now, we're going to keep it a little simpler so that we can get right into the content. So for the next Hack Night, I'm building a system where basically poor man's VPN, we're just going to use SSH. You guys can forward and tunnel so that you can use your own home systems or VMs, whatever you want to use, as a client machine, whether it's Backtrack or whatever tools that you have or want for the purpose of Hack Night, you can do that, and then get basically, let's pull off the was it Web Labyrinth or whatever. Like, let's build a web server that lives in our darknet, so to speak, or even for that matter, I can throw it up on the same system that's running SSH, keep it even simpler than that. And so we'll do Web Labyrinth. We'll try and imitate a bot, attack it, see what it does. I'd be curious to see from an administrator perspective what kind of a load that places on the server, like where it's continually, if it's an aggressive bot, trying to grab all the links that it could, even though they're going nowhere. Be curious to see, and maybe even like document some of that and like put it online as a resource. Then definitely I want to play around with this chattr stuff, and let's see if we could figure out a way around it. Like if we look at some various exploits and whatnot, and like we touch a file, make it immutable. What are some tactics that we could use, and in addition to that, what are some counterattacks in that? How do we know that something like this happened? Like maybe running tripwire. Like what kind of a result would tripwire show up when you flag a file or a directory with this? It'd be interesting to see it, and it's simple, simple tasks. It'd be fun. So this is the time, I guess, if there's no other questions for Braindead. I extended the meeting a little bit. By no means does it mean that you guys have to stay or anything like that. Typically we run tight toward the end of the hour, but it's round table time. Anything you guys want to talk, somebody wants to grab the microphone, just let me know in chat, and I will enable the microphone for whoever, or actually I can even unmute it for everybody if you want to do that. And or any feedback, so again, round table, whatever topic, even if it's not ethical hacking or whatever, just whatever you want. My open floor. Actually, I have a question for you guys. Yeah, I'd be up for that. If other people are. I think, Braindead, you wanted to try your camera or something like on a different system, and I think now would be a good time if the meeting application totally takes a shit, then it's basically over. So this is just bonus. DEF CON, I'm not sure if I know somebody was talking about it in the shout box. It's difficult for me to make it, but and I think like with DEF CON, some other people were saying that it's like thousands and thousands of people, and being like a major anniversary of the event, like I'd be more apt to going to DerbyCon or something like that to hook up. Yeah. What do you guys think of, I don't know if you looked at the events or not, but every Tuesday night at 7:30 I put down like a general chat time, like for people want to meet up in the shout box, because I know like we're there in random times, and I don't know if you guys wanted to chat, or have like a dedicated night where no obligation, you show up if you show up. I wasn't too far from you there, Hybrid. Actually, a couple of weeks back I was in Panama. Oh, I have to enable your camera, Braindead. All right, this is the time where we have a commercial. Tonight's meeting has been brought to you in part by
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a massive delay. But, alright, so have any of you guys done any lock picking or anything before? That's sweet. What have you, what have you picked, or how long have you been picking? So you've probably been doing it longer than I have. But have you ever been to any of the like cons and stuff, like and gone into like the lockpick villages and stuff like that? All right. Yeah, if you ever go to any of the conferences, definitely check out the lockpick villages. It's pretty sweet. Trying to get this stupid camera to work, and it's just not happening. All right, I guess let me at least yeah, let me at least throw you guys a link. Crap. All right, yeah, I'll throw this link. Actually, it might already be in the forums. I don't remember, but I'll throw it in there if it's not. But yeah, if you guys check out that link, it's awesome. I don't know if any of you guys know Deviant, or have watched any of his videos and stuff. Like, it is like he's one of the better guys that I've seen, and if you take his training, like these are the diagrams that he shows in the in the training, like at Black Hat or all these other conferences and stuff like that. They're probably the best diagrams I've seen for locks. Oh, crap. Let's see if try one more time to get this cam going. Alright, Taz, if you wouldn't mind, if you could give him cam access. I actually got a kind of funny story. after I went to DerbyCon and took Deviant's training and all that, I ended up, when I got back home, I went to, like Home Depot or whatever, and I went to go pick up some key blanks, and the guy was really hesitant to sell me the blanks, and finally I got him to kind of give in a bit, and he was like, all right, he's like, as long as you don't use them for, bumping any locks and stuff. And I was like, well, I wasn't going to at first. I was planning on doing, some impressioning and stuff, but I might try some bumping at some point. And he just kind of looked at me weird, and I was like, no, it's all good. I do security research. And he just handed it to me, and I just walked away. It was awesome. It says, could you give BD camera access? Try this one more time. If this doesn't work, you guys can just, I don't know, hit me up at some other point, and I'd be more than happy to show you guys stuff or talk to you guys about it. Yeah, Adobe's being stupid, so I don't think it's gonna go. But yeah, if you guys want to just hit me up whenever either on G51 or my Skype, which I think is just BD G51. Yeah, I thought of making videos and stuff. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of stuff already out there, so it's like I don't know. But I might end up doing it. But Doctor, have you done any handcuffs at all? Whatever your preference. I have pink cuffs, but they don't have fur. And they're actually pretty crazy. I picked up, I think I got a pair of Smith & Wessons. Yeah. Yeah, I picked up a pair. If you go to, I think it's just called handcuffwarehouse.com, they got a bunch of stuff, and I ordered a pair of Smith & Wessons, and, what was the other pair? I forget what the other pair was. It was weird, though, because the pair that I really wanted were Ewells, but they were, like, a lot more expensive than I really wanted to spend, and so I picked up something else. Yeah, Handcuff Warehouse. So I ended up picking up something else, and what I ended up receiving was Ewells. So it was kind of weird. So I don't know if they screwed up or if Ewell maybe bought out that other company and stuff. So I got a pair of Ewells and I got a pair of the Smith & Wessons. Smith & Wessons are crazy, like basic, really easy to pick and shim. No, it's good. It's all good. But the Ewells are pretty sick because like it has a one of the most the easiest attack you can do to pretty much any handcuff is you take some shim. Like you can use like a tension wrench from if you have the lockpick set or if you make one, you can just use like a tension wrench. Usually that size will work pretty good. It's gonna wreck the wrench though. So, but you take it and you jam it down in the from the side of where it clicks in. So you're separating the teeth away from the what the heck? I forget what the thing's actually called. I forget, but so you're basically just separating it so you can swing the arm or the hand or whatever the heck you want to call the thing, swing it out. But on these Ewells, they actually have a blade that runs down the middle, so you gotta like split your shim and stuff like it. Ewell is pretty cool. They're probably one of the better as far as like pick resistant or shim resistant cuffs. They're pretty sweet. But picking them, like going through the keyway and stuff, is easy. You can do it with paper clips. It's really, the mechanism is so simple. It's just, they're really not made for really detaining people for very long. Just quick transportation kind of deal. And yeah. But I'm gonna try to continue buying more locks and stuff like that. If you haven't ever gotten into lock picking and you want to, don't just go to like your local hardware store and buy like every lock, like all of the like different brands and stuff like that, because if you, I mean, even if you buy all the different brands, like they're all basically the same lock. They're all going to be really, really basic. Again, at my local hardware store, like they don't even have any security. Like they'll call a lock security lock or whatever, but it doesn't even have any security pins or anything and stuff like that. So you're better off maybe buying like a couple, so you can like repin them and get used to just the feeling of the lock and all that stuff. But Deviant, actually, if you go to his website, which is at deviating.net, I think that's right. Google it, I guess. But if you go to his site, he sells like progressive kits and stuff like that. And I mean, they're kind of up there. I mean, I think like one of the kits I got, it was like 5 locks or something like that, and it's like $60. But they're awesome. They're really cool, and you can repin them yourself. So yeah. Yeah, so like I said, if you're interested in that stuff and you want to talk more, you can hit me up on the site or on Skype. I guess unless you guys have more to say, I guess I'm all set. Yeah, sorry I couldn't get the camera working. It's a pain. I'll have to get that fixed. So. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, well, this concludes our meeting. Thanks for showing up, guys. I appreciate it. It's great. You know, it speaks volumes for the people that actually make an effort to show up to these meetings, and you know, like a lot of people, you know, what I find in running a website like this, that people say, oh yeah, we should have a meeting, we should do this, that, and the other thing, and never actually show up. But you guys are the reason why we do this, and you show up, and it's been great. And be prepared. 2012, there's some great things coming. Yep. Yeah, that's true. End of the world. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for showing up.